Well, I thought we gotta do this now, especially since basically, well, I'm out of the year 2024. So let's look back basically at 2024 with this anime in 2024. I checked out a lot of anime the past year. Like, this is probably the most I've done since 2020. But this was a record that was I had to look this up for all the anime I covered over the years. Because I'd make a list of the anime I covered from 2017, 2019. I had took some time to make those lists up. But this actually is the second highest I have ever had since reviewing anime. I reviewed in the year 2024 27 anime series. Some were based on light novels, some based on manga. So, the anime covered. Some of them basically were still airing that very year. Some, like, there's a few of these ones where basically we had a sub but no dub for reasons. Some of these have since been greenlit for another season. I think like one or two have. But let's get started. The first one I covered last year was The Reincarnation of the Strongest Exorcist in the World. This was a very interesting anime. Where because normally put these typical reincarnation enemies from modern day, and they get reincarnated in like some fantasy world. This was something from Feudal Japan. I'm like, that's different. And also, what drew me to this series was the fact that the lead character is voiced by, well, the female lead of the series is voiced by Lucy Christian, one of several anime this year I had watched a review that she's in. Really fun anime. Kind of wish basically they would have done another season for this one. The whole thing was that basically is that, well, they think it's other girls the hero. It's sort of like a Lucy Christian character is the actual hero, and she kind of rescue her, and they have to go and run. But they have it. Also, the girls like him too, which is that's one of the reasons why I particularly check out this one. It was a very interesting anime. This one in particular, I did not read the light novels. This one, because they never released here, I couldn't find them, so I just read the manga. Had a lot of fun doing it. All right, next up basically is a series they did greenlit for season 3, which I'm so happy with that. Wait, I'm not sure. That being Tsutsumochi Moonlit Fantasy, an amazing anime that I originally covered. I originally read the manga for it. The manga has had over 102 chapters published overall, and I have read the light novels as one because they finally came available over here, and I've since read the first 3 out of 19 volumes. Really enjoyable series to read and review. This is another one. This is one of those rare anime where we have Dallas Reed as the star of the series. Haven't had that in a while. And also you have Monica Rial as a blue-haired dragon, who's the female lead of the series. Like, I initially bench watched this originally. Like, here's something I didn't know at the time, and I've mentioned this a couple times. The first season was 12 episodes of this one. Then we had the second season air. And I thought it was going to be 12 episodes like the first season, but no, this was 25 episodes. I'm like, damn, they covered a lot of material, and they did. And also making me about a woman who's also a spider. And when I heard that they greenlit this one for season 3, I'm like, thank you. One of like several series I watched this year where they greenlit season 2 or like another season 4 after I've already watched it. One of these ones basically aired like a year or two ago, and this is year they just greenlit in their season 4. And this one basically I watched the first season, and then the second season was started, but I was waiting for the dub, and then eventually the dub came out and I watched it. Next one was another series featured Lucy Christian as the star of it. Well, one of the characters, The Eminence Shadow. Yes, believe it or not, was the second series this year I covered where it featured Lucy Christian as one of the stars. This one in particular was, I wasn't going to read the manga for this one, and then I discovered, the light novels are available. So I read them. And there was 2 seasons of this one. The first season was like 12 episodes, I think it was. The second season was 20. The one part of the second season I still didn't like though was the money part. Was the money story. I love the Vampire Nation stuff. I thought that was awesome with the lawless city. I thought it was an amazing story arc. It was kind of a really bizarre anime. We have Brittany Kowalski just randomly show up for a story arc, and then she's seen in a filler scene. And then you have her father named Lutheran. Yes, that's her father's name, Lutheran. I'm like, what in the world? And I did watch the second season, of course, after I watched the first season. And it was already aired at that point. And then, of course, they had a really cool ending with this one. Well, this became the first series I ever watched where the main character gets reincarnated in another world after dying and started his own shadow organization, and then goes back to his original world and reuniting with the girl he first met in the opening episode. I'm like, this was so cool. Yeah. And by the way, there's a total of 6 volumes released this series. And I've read, I think when I read this, I only read the first 4. Yeah, I read the first 4 volumes. I don't think I referred in that. Let me take a look about that one. I had read the first 4 volumes. They released 5 since then, and now 6 is out. Yeah, the first season aired back in like just a couple years ago, in 2022, and like then you have the second season aired the following year, which was like a little over a year ago. By the time I checked it out, early this year, the second season are included, and then the next thing basically was announced was going to be a movie. Which, I think when I looked at the picture of it, looks like it was going to... Now, this one, believe it or not, was the first anime I covered on High Dive. Yep, it was the first one. First of several this year. Yeah, it was my first one. It's something I really enjoyed. Next one was Tales of the Wedding Rings. Really interesting one. This one is... Unlike the first 3 where they had Light Elves first and manga, this one was strictly manga. I had heard about this anime coming out, so I only read just the opening chapter originally. I liked it, but never went back to it. And eventually I did go back to it. I read the whole thing, and then when the first season included, we ended up season 2. I'm like, thank you. Yeah, one of those rare times basically where you have another season air. The whole thing with this one was that a guy who's in love with his childhood friend, who turns out she's a princess from their kingdom in another world, and they go to that world. This actually was the second anime I came across where you have characters go back to the old world, but then go back to fantasy world. And the whole thing was gathering these 5 wedding rings from a human kingdom. And by the way, one of the characters in the series is voiced by Brittany Kowalski, who is an amazing character in the series, and she's like very shy about her appearance because everyone else, because all these ladies all got that there's even like a Catwoman in this series. Was like, this series was a lot of fun to watch. There's even an elf, yes, an elf, and he gets married to 5 wives. Yeah, he does officially marry these 5 women, and toward the end of the last chapter I read, one of his wife's sisters became a mother, and he became an uncle for the first time. They didn't have the series, but that will happen. Though the series last season ended with the appearance by his first wife's sister. Yeah. The 5th one was another Lucid Christian series. This was the 3rd one I covered this year. The Demon Sword Master of Excalibur Academy. We have this Demon King. He gets sort of reincarnated in sort of like semi-modern day, where they apparently have no history of magic. It's one of those few series where a guy gets reincarnated in the same world, but basically this time as a little boy. But it's a fun series to watch, and another series featured Brittany Kowalski, which she voiced a princess. Yep. This one I did read light novels for. Surprisingly, there's not been a second season of this one for some reason. Not sure why, but it was only 2 episodes. Took me a little while to get this one, but I enjoyed it. Next 3 anime were airing just this year. Where this first was actually, I read the light novels. That's why I read like the first 3, just on the safe side. And this was the first anime this year, last year, where they aired the new episode the same day as the sub. Yes, and no, it was Reincarnation series, but this time it's reincarnated as some other person. The guy reincarnated as a goblin, became Hobgoblin, Ogre. He got these beautiful women with him. Basically, also 2 sisters, and then of course, all the women give birth to his children throughout the course of the season. Like, damn. And the first one does not have any children. I was like, damn. And well, who knows when? I haven't read since book 3, but it's a really, really interesting series. The whole thing of this one is a guy eating other monsters to get getting stronger. And also, one happened to be an ogre, and he had sort of a desire with women. That's probably what drew him to a bunch of women, which was a really fun thing. And the fact that his first wife became basically a vampire woman. Yeah. The other 2 were, I watched 2 in the same period of time, and I did read the light novels for these 2. And Archdemon's Dilemma, How to Love Your Elf Bride. This was funny. I love the chemistry of this one. I think this one they did greenlit for season 2 recently. Yeah, I was kind of shocked to hear that. I think this one, I know the other one's not greenlit for season 2. I thought it was. I thought I heard something they did greenlit for season 2. I guess they didn't. But it's overall really, really fun series to watch. And this is one of those series where they, I was familiar with the voice guy, said Brandy Luda, who voices Demigirl in the series. Yeah, you have a girl named Nephi, Zygoth. Yeah. The whole thing of being Archdemon. In fact, Demon's a series of these giant blobs. I'm like, what? Yeah, it was really weird. Chilling in the world, living with their chi powers. This was kind of weird one. You have a guy transferring from one fantasy world to another. He has another guy become the hero, but they think this guy's the hero, but he has... But here's the weird thing. So, they had it where, the power he was supposed to get went to the other guy, and he ends up basically taking a demon wolf as his wife, who takes form of a woman. A beautiful one, mind you. And, he takes a party to live with him, too. And the leader of the party ends up falling for, basically, his wife's boss. And the fact his sister, who also got a thing for him, too. By the way, Freya's basically, that's her name of the series. She's by Megan Shipman, who's a great voice actress. Those of you not familiar with her, she's the voice of La Brava from My Hero Academia, and I Am Voyager from Spy X Family. Oh yeah, she also voiced Grave in Black Clover, Mabel from Bullfree. This series was a lot of fun. They have a character who's a muscle woman named Blossom. Yes. Belly Rosa, and the fact that she fell for a demon lord, which is so fun. You have Monica Rell in the series too, voicing a little witch girl. How can you not check this series out? This series was a lot of fun. Probably by far, the next one was the weirdest one I covered this year. I heard about him, I had to check this out because this title was so weird. Reborn as a vending machine. I'm like, what? A vending machine? A guy gets crushed by a vending machine. I saw a trailer for this one. I watched it. I'm like, and by the way, this season, first one I cover since the Wolf's Finest Assassin, where the entire season they covered only one book. One. Not several. One. And the series is finished for a while. And they have 2 books left to adapt for the series, and I read the 2 manga volumes released here. Liz Maxwell is one of the characters in the series, which is awesome. It's a really fun series, and you have and he's called Boxy. You don't know what his real name was. Apparently, from what I read, apparently before he died, when he was a human, he looked like a character from another series called Campfire Skills of the World. The character's not based on that. That was a weird one. I did enjoy it. The next couple basically were kind of interesting. I was reincarnated as the Seventh Prince. This not one I did watch initially. I basically caught up with it and then I watched it. It's a very interesting one. The whole thing about a little boy who basically does not being a Seventh Prince, he just proves his magic. Also, his sister likes kissing him. Actually, one of his sisters likes kissing him. Like, every time they see each other because basically she's obsessed with him. Yeah, is there any big name voice actors in this series? Uh, just Morgan Berry. But the series itself, I just checked the manga for this one, and I read a good chunk of it, and I just really enjoy this anime. Yep. Oh, they did announce the second season of this one. Yep, they did. I'm a little surprised about that. I didn't know about this until just now. That, yeah, this one's getting a second season of this one. Next up was the second series I covered on High Dive. I somehow got stronger. Actually, this was the third one this year, because the first one I covered was Vexation of Princess. I somehow got stronger on my farm-related skills. This one is another feature Lucy Christian. This was also the last one I covered this year that featured her as a starring character. Where in this one, she plays the country's princess, the main character's in. You also have Chris McGuire as basically a this was one of two series in a row basically where she's in. She plays a hero, as a guild girl. I love this series. I haven't got a DVD, but I kind of wish season 2 of this one because there's so much material for this one. A lot more material. I was reading the manga. This one was amazing. Reborn: The Master of the Blade. This one in particular was the first of 3 series I covered this year where there was no dub. No, seriously, no dub. Don't know the reason for it. Actually, it was 4. Yeah, the whole thing was you have this king who's a king sword master. He gets reincarnated as a woman, and she fights off against other people in the series, and she's like very close to her cousin. And the way it was written, it seemed like she had feelings for her female cousin, where she likes to eat lots of food and she likes women. That's why it being a woman too. And the series and the whole thing is she's a squire because she's want to be because she's so OP. That's why she want to be basically her cousin's squire who's not as strong as she is. This one they have not greenlit season 2 of this one, but something I really did enjoy. Another enjoy came out just a couple years ago. I actually met Chris McGuire just after I watched this one. Beast Tamer. Yeah. Where you have a beast tamer who tames other monsters. Yeah, one like a cat girl, a dragon girl, fairy sisters. And this, of course, is the whole thing. And aired a couple years ago. This was a fun series to watch. I watched it, and I'm like, why is there season 2 of this thing? It was amazing. Yeah. By the way, it's one of those ones where he kicked out his party, and turns out he's actually really strong. Oh, and by the way, the main villain of the series, who's actually supposed to be the hero, Alejandro Saab. This was the second series I covered him in. Next one I covered was one that I watched this year, which I'm still reading light novels because I kind of enjoy this series. It's sort of like I had some minor problems with it. Failure Frame, another series this year where there was no dub, not that I see anyways. Where you have another one of these shows where a guy in his class gets summoned to another world. This time, not from a classroom, but a Greyhound bus. And their teacher is a gym teacher, who's a guy. And he's only there the first couple of episodes. He doesn't really do anything. And of course, also he gets to meet Cyrus, this beautiful elf woman who he actually falls in love with. And in later books, they actually sleep together. Yeah. Though he doesn't get harem per se, but he does get like a cat woman who's known as Eve Speed, and like a young little girl who's kind of like a little sister to her. And they kind of travel with her later on the series, and a lot of us will meet this thing called the Witch Taboo, and they meet her in the final episode, and no season 2. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like this one because the series was very slow paced. I didn't think that was the problem with it. I don't think the pacing was the problem. It was the fact that they kept using too much CGI in this series for no reason. Like, they use it for a talking scene. I get it for some walking. It's like maybe the studio didn't have money to actually have proper animate, so they use CGI to cover it up, basically their mess. This next one had Colin Clinkenbeard in the series. Yep. And Sarah Weinhoff. Actually, before I get to that one, this next one was actually this was the third one. Actually, it was 5 of them this year. As Rick and Risk, my praise Rise, I just wrapped my review for season 2. This one, yeah, and then as soon as the second season finished up, this was another one. They announced season 3 is coming. Thank you. Despite the fact this one season, I think covered like one book. I think it was. Yeah, I think it covered like one book. Because I think the first seasons covered just the first 2 books of the series. I think the third season covered the 3rd book, which did a really good job with it. And, well, he marries the girl who likes him. Just so if he gets like 14 in the series. They have the wedding ceremony at the end of it, but this was a very interesting series about getting appraisal and meeting all these great characters. It has a great story with it. I love it. And can't wait for season 3 when they come out. Next one was one of the 2 follow-up series. The series I did previously, actually 3 I did reviews for years ago, but this one I knew of this one coming out. Fairy Tail 1 Year's Quest. I was so happy to see this one come back. And, well, this one is about to wrap up really soon. As a matter of fact, the final episode was supposed to air this past weekend, but was delayed. And that's probably the reason why the dub was delayed too. And now it's been delayed to the following week. Just a sequel to the original Fairy Tail series. I finished my review of that one back in 2018, I think it was. Actually, it was 2019. Okay, now this one here. This is another one basically that initially when I watched it, I watched it, aired I think it was 2 years ago, I think it was. The Wrong Use Healing Magic. Yes, the light novel series is over. I read the first couple books per se, and this one aired just this year, and it featured such voice actors as Colin Clinkenbeard, just another one basically featuring him too, Alexis Tipton, David Wade, Sarah Weinhoff. Yeah, this time it's only 3 people summoned in the world, except he's a healer. And you have this woman named Rose, who's voiced by Colin Clinkenbeard, who's an amazing character. And they have a nice ending to it. At the time, I didn't know there was going to be a season 2, and then all of a sudden, we have season 2 coming. Don't know when, but I'm happy this one got one. For sure, aired just this year. I enjoy this one. The next one, the second season still airing for this one right now, are Demon Slayer Retry. I checked this out purely because, well, the series is interesting and a really good voice cast too. A guy who's summoned and I watched the first episode wow, there's going to be a lot of this is a show that basically reminded me a lot of different series and doing a lot. One of 2 this year reminded me a lot of it. 19 was Chain Soldier. A series that I was not embarrassed to watch. And I knew about season 2 coming in this one. I already knew about this one right away. Where a guy gets involved with fighting other monsters in a dimension. And also, the whole group he's involved with is basically a bunch of women. And all but one of them is in love with him. And this is another one featured Brendan Kowalski. It's every time basically I do an anime this year, she's featured a lot of anime this year I featured. You have Natalie Rial voicing the secondary female character in the series. Her big sister, Monica Rial, was in the series too. I mean, it's definitely a series I enjoyed watching. It was the first series I regularly reviewed on High Dive. Yeah. By the way, Brittany Luda basically voiced the young version of the main character. You have Let's see if Kristen McGuire is like an 11-year-old girl in the series. Yep. And also the fact that he also show up. He also had his sister pop up later in the series as another character, as another um, like one of those things he had to fight in the series, but she's a humanized version. And also, it was later revealed that he constantly posed with his own sister multiple times. I'm like, and also the fact that apparently she has an incestuous attraction to her own brother. I'm like, what? Yeah, but it's a good series, and I'll be looking forward to season 2 when it comes out. The other ones, well, this one was a sequel. I knew about this one. I basically just decided, why not watch it? At first read the manga, enjoyed it, watched the first season, loved it. I thought the first season was going to finish. Nope, they left a cliffhanger. And the season came, I had to go to like different websites to watch this thing. And now apparently this one is coming to Netflix. Would that be interesting? One of like 2 that are Netflix. Yep. First season, 1 2 episodes, like in the case of the seasons for the original series. Second season came out and it's 12. Yeah, I was kind of surprised it was 12. Next one, the remake of Ranma Half. I was kind of surprised to hear about this. And of course, not surprising, they got a new dubcast because it's been years. I'm sure a lot of dubcasts basically move on. But this was the first one I actually reviewed on Netflix, thanks to my brother having a subscription to Netflix. Yeah, at first I reviewed on their website, and then eventually I reviewed on Netflix itself. And I think they did announce those 6 seasons coming, but they said they wrapped the first season up really quickly after only like 12 episodes. But here's the thing, they still have another whole lot of their manga to adapt. So, and of course, yes, I'm around my half. Sure, I got this on Monday. Excuse me. So enjoy that one. Next one, basically, I still picked light novels for this one. This is Spirit Goggles. Yep. Well, I binge watched the first season, then I was watching the second season. With episode 5 forward, it was another one of those ones where I started watching it was already airing, and I caught up with it pretty quickly. Just fun series, and now I did realize. Oh yeah, he said read afterwards, like 17. No, the anime did not leave off with volume 16. They did not have 16 volumes in 2 seasons. They went to volume 8. I know because I looked up on it. Yeah, so they got this one wrong. The next 2 were subs only, no dub. The strongest was Demon Lord. Strongest Demon Lord was human, and the healer was banished from his party. In fact, the strongest. The first one was really interesting for a little while because I kind of liked the concept of this series, and also the fact that I kind of basically fan cast a lot of characters, like his boss, this seductive woman who's also a witch, voiced by Stephanie. I fan cast her as Stephanie Young, do for fan casting for who can voice his characters. I had a lot of fun with this series. Kind of wish this one got a dub, but the other one was a recommendation from a commenter of mine on my videos. I kept using this series, okay. And the other reason I checked this one out was because I had an opening in my review schedule, so why not review it? And just recently wrapped up, and I think they did confirm a season 2 for this one. I don't remember if they did or not, because basically it's open for season 2. They have not aired, they're not recommended season 2 yet. Yeah, they've not announced season 2 yet, but I would love a season 2. This one read basically this was kind of weird. I read the manga and the light novels before I read the first one and they couldn't finish the second one because they have the chapters released online for it. 25, and I still didn't watch the second season of this one. Peter Grill and the Philosopher's Time. This one was one I want to check out for quite a while. Because maybe the same people who made Banished Dinner Party. And I figured check it out. And just by pure coincidence, it's been a coincidence one too. Yes, she is. Voiced the character period for like just a couple episodes. You know, John Sweeney in the series, like the big premise of the series, the guy cannot keep his pants on because he keeps because all these women basically, because he's the strongest human in the entire planet. They want to have his children. So all these women, all these monsters of women, want to basically sleep with him. Despite the fact he's engaged to the Guildmaster's daughter. And, like, they kept doing it frequently, and, like, well, I still didn't watch like season 4 because they did officially wrap the series of this year, last year, surprisingly. And I've read almost the entire series, so looking forward to this because of the rest. But the thing is, with this show, these are shorter than typical episodes. These are like 20, like these things are like 12 minutes. You think of the opening closing credits, it's like 10 minutes. I got this series pretty quickly. I'll probably second season really soon. The other two, I squeeze these ones in, just getting very close to wrap the year up. Saving 80,000 going to my retirement. I series feature Nishimura, Sarah Winehoff. I think that was it for, I can think of for major voice casting this one. The whole thing about saving gold, 80,000 gold in another world. It's a very interesting series where you have characters go back over between her richer world and this fantasy world. All because she'll power from a cat statue. And the season only adapted like roughly the first book, and they adapted almost toward the end of book 2. And all I had to do was read one Amos book, and I was ready to basically start watching the show. They got pretty close. They got pretty much toward the end of book 2, but they stopped there. The series only aired like a little over a year ago, so I'm surprised they haven't really done a second season for this one. And then basically it was getting close for a year, and I figured though, why not squeeze in one more before the year was out? And that was series I just wrapped up. I kid you not, just yesterday. And that series is My Isekai Life. If you want to know my thoughts on the series, check out my recent reviews I just did for the last few days. It was a really fun series to watch. And another one basically aired 2023, like 78,000 gold. Kind of wish season 2 of this one too, especially as there was a lot more material for this one. And this one particularly, I did just check out the manga for this one. Never read the light novel because it's not released here, so there was to it. And that's all the anime I made. Well, all the new ones I covered. Quickly, let's go through because it's over like 30 minutes. Let's quickly go through what anime I regularly review this year. We have. I already talked about Tuesday Movie season 2. We have a free season 2, which is still airing right now. They're taking a few weeks off. Third season that covers Slime. They did release season 2 for this one. Season 4. I already talked about that second one there. Second season Jujutsu Kaisen is one. They greenlit another arc, which is the arc is Culling Game. There is Blue Exorcist, which this one's still airing, and they're in the second season just going to start next week. Next season next week. Second season of Martial Magic and Muscles. Second core of Mushoku Tensei Jumps Incarnation, which they did release season 3 for this one. ReZero, which they only aired 8 episodes, took a break. Israel's Dungeons one's on hiatus till April. Yes, frickin' April. Because of production issues. Second season of My Hero Academia. Of course, everything is one of the Apocalypse, what they did just recently wrap up. Last Rise in the World Season 2 was delayed a couple times, and then that was on hiatus. Let's had core of The Missing Demon King Academy, Season 2. Black Brother Season 4, which their fourth season started in April. Don't have a date for it yet. And, of course, the last regular season for the anime from Demon Slayer before they have the Infinite Castle movies that are supposed to come out this year. And I'm in the video right now because I've been talking now for almost 35 minutes. So, yeah, that's all the anime I covered just this year. It was a lot. Do I think I covered that much this year? Who knows? Okay, so that's pretty much a particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do that like button. Well, next up, when I get a chance to do it, be more episodes of Dawn to Dawn. Okay, see you.